Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. You're watching Diversity of Living Organisms part 5. So children, we have completed in the last class about the hierarchy of classification and about the Monera kingdom. Okay. So do you know children, there are various hypotheses as to the origin of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, because all cells are similar in nature. It is generally thought that all cells came from a common ancestor cell termed the last universal common ancestor, LUCA. So these LUCA eventually evolved into three different cell types, each representing a domain. The three domains are archaea, the bacteria, and the eukarya. Eukarya means a classification as suggested by Woese. Okay, in the last class we have seen. Archaea and bacteria are prokaryotic cells. That is, they do not have a membrane-bound nucleus. The nuclear material is present dispersed in cytoplasm. Okay. The cell walls of bacteria, unlike the archaea, contain a fat-like chemical. It's very important to remember. That is peptidoglycan. Okay. The cell walls of bacteria contain a fat-like chemical substance that is called peptidoglycan. Eukarya have the eukaryotic cells, or the cells having a membrane-bound nucleus. Okay, it's a eukarya. So once again, you can see the hierarchy here. Okay, this is the descending order. Okay, so ascending order from smaller to bigger, from top to bottom here. So descending order from kingdom to species, bigger to smaller. Okay, so there are how many taxa are here? 3 plus 4, 7 main taxa. Species form the basis of classification, followed by genus, followed by family, followed by order, followed by class, followed by phylum, followed by kingdom. For example, if you take Homo sapiens, the members of the genus Homo with a height forehead and thin skull bones, Homo hominids with upright posture and large brains, Hominidis is the family, means primates with relatively flat faces and three-dimensional vision. The primates is the order. Mammals with collarbones and grasping fingers. Mammals is the class. The chordates with fur or hair and milk glands. And chordates is the phylum, chordata, the animals with backbone. Then kingdom, Animalia are animals, the organisms able to move on their own. Okay, so let us proceed, children. Today's class about the Protista, the second kingdom. The kingdom Protista, it is also called as Protoctista. So observe the given slide carefully and say, here the slide is given. So this is the slide. In this slide, amoeba, euglena, paramecium, 3 are given. So how many cells are found in the organism? How many cells? Only one cell, single cell. Do you find any nucleus in the middle of the cell? Yes. So here nucleus is there. Here nucleus is there. Okay. Nucleus is present. Next, are there any other cell organelles found in the cell? Yes. Food vacuole is there. Cytoplasm. Okay. Blepharoplast, flagellum, Okay, here chloroplast, spiral chloroplast are present, contractile vacuole. Okay, so some other cell organelles are also found in the cell. Are there any locomotory organs in them? Yes. Here in amoeba, pseudopodia. In euglena, flagellum. In paramecium, cilia are there. Okay, locomotory organs are present. Then most of the protists are one-celled. So these three are single-celled, one-celled. But some have many cells. The cells have membrane-bound nucleus. Okay, well-developed nucleus. That's why they are eukaryotic, unicellular. Okay. So more characteristics we will see. What are the characteristics? Some get nutrients and energy by eating other organisms, heterotrophic. And some get energy from the sun and nutrients from the water around them, photosynthetic. The protists live either solitary or in a colony. Okay, they can live separately, freely. Solitary means free living. And colonial. And some are colonial, live in groups. So some of the cell organelles are present inside the cell. So mostly they reproduce by splitting into binary fission. Okay, the examples of this kingdom Protista: paramecium, amoeba, some diatoms, that is algae, and the kelp, seaweeds. Okay, these are the examples of the kingdom Protista. Okay, the next kingdom, fungi. Fungi is another kingdom. Observe the specimen and the diagram given and answer the following questions. So here observe the diagram. So here some mushrooms are given, and here yeast, unicellular fungi. Okay, and here the bread mold. So this is the bread mold, this is mushroom, and this is the yeast. These are the three slides. Okay, when you observe under the microscope. So try to answer these questions, children. What is the color? Okay, the bread mold is slightly blackish or gray in color, whereas the mushroom slightly brownish in color. Okay, can they prepare their own food as green plants? No. So these fungi are non-green plants. Non-green plants means they cannot synthesize their own food. Make a sketch of the main parts of the body. So the main parts are, you can see the filamentous in structure. So this is umbrella shape. Okay, this is a single cell unicellular fungi, yeast. Do you find root-like structures? No. There are no root-like structures. Guess why? Because they are not observing the nutrients from the soil. Okay, there is no necessity for them. The most fungi are many-celled, multicellular. They are eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means they possess a well-developed nucleus. And some are single-celled. Example for unicellular fungi, yeast. Okay, most of them are heterotrophic, and they are saprophytic in nature. Okay, so more characteristics we will see. The kingdom fungi. Fungi get nutrients and energy by absorbing, digesting the surface they live on through root-like structures. Okay, those root-like structures are called hyphae or mycelium. They are called mycelia. Okay, which are fine thread-like parts of their body. And you can see here the fine thread-like structures. They introduce these mycelia into the substratum or the food on which they grow. Okay, and absorb. So first they release some chemicals. After releasing the chemicals, they digest extracellular digestion. The digestion takes place. Then they absorb that liquid or particulate food materials through their root-like structures called mycelia. So this kind of nutrition is called saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytic nutrition. So most of these fungi reproduce by spores. Okay, sporulation. The formation of spores is the most common method of reproduction in fungi. And examples of the fungi are yeasts, mushrooms, molds, bread mold, okay, and lichens. Lichens means it's not exclusively fungi. They are the combination of algae and fungi. Symbiotic association between the algae and fungi live together. It is called lichens. Okay, so some common names are there in the fungi like rusts, smuts, molds, okay, mushrooms. So these are all the names. So some of them are edible. Edible means the fungi which we can eat. For example, mushrooms, we can eat the delicious food with proteins. Okay, and some of the fungi may cause disease for even in the animals as well as in the parasitic fungi. Even they cause diseases in the plants like rusts and smuts. They are the fungi which cause diseases in the plants. Okay, ringworm is the fungi which cause disease in the animals. Okay, so you usually see the head of the fungi propping out from the ground or on the barks of the trees. During rainy season and winter season you will find these fungi. Okay, the next kingdom, Plantae. Okay, the Plantae is the biggest kingdom. You can the several plants grow in the surroundings around you. Do all of them produce seeds? No. Think, if grass produces seeds, paddy, name some plants that produce seeds. Okay, you know, the cells, pulses, grains, okay, nuts, all they are the seeds. Which part of the plant produces seeds? Where is it located? Okay, the fruit. Fruit is the part in which seed is embedded. Okay, children. So where it is located? It is located on the stem. Next, the seed is located inside the fruit. Do all plants have a definite structure to produce seeds? Yes. What is the definite structure? Flower. Flower develops into. Do all plants have the definite structure to produce the seeds? No. There are certain plants are there which cannot produce flowers or fruits. Okay. For example, if you take some gymnosperms, palm tree. Okay. There are no fruits. Directly seeds are produced. Naked seeds they are called. Okay. The plants are diverse in nature. There is a lot of diversity you can observe in the plants. The basis of classifying them is the way they acquire their food. Okay, the type of reproductive structures they have and the way they reproduce. These are all the characteristic features by which we can classify the plants. They are these plants. All plants are multicellular, eukaryotic with cell walls. They are usually autotrophs and use mainly chlorophyll for photosynthesis. Okay, there is a green pigment present in the cells, so which synthesize the food material by a process called photosynthesis. So that's why they are autotrophic in nature. They synthesize their own food. And the more characteristic features, the first level of classification among the plants depend on whether the plant body has well differentiated distinct parts. What are the well differentiated distinct parts of the plant? The root system, the shoot system, okay, the leaves, the stem, the flowers, the fruits. Okay, these are all the external features based on which we can classify the plants. That is the first level. The next level of classification is based on whether the differentiated plant body has special tissues. That special tissues like vascular tissue. Okay, already in the plant tissues we have studied. Vascular tissue means xylem and phloem, or it is also called the conductive tissue. Based on that tissue, for the transport of water and other substances within it, we can classify the plants. Vascular plants and non-vascular plants. Okay. So see here different plants. Further classification looks at the ability to bear seeds, flowers, and whether the seeds are enclosed within the fruit or not. Okay, if the seed is enclosed within the fruit, they are called angiosperms. If the seed is not enclosed in the fruit, they are called gymnosperms. Okay, see here the vascular and non-vascular plants. So this is the normal vascular plants with vascular tissue. Okay, it's a saprophyte, fungi. Okay, it is a fern, it is a moss plant, it is a normal plant. Okay, like that the plants are classified. The different levels of classification. The first level depends upon the plant body and well differentiated distinct parts. Okay, the second level of classification based on the presence of special tissues like vascular tissue. Okay, and the third level whether the plant bears seeds or not. Okay. So in order to understand the plant A, a simple activity is given. Activity number 8, that is observation of moss plants through hand lens. Okay. So this is the moss plant. You can observe here a capsule is present. So this is called the foot. The foot, seta and capsule. Foot, seta and capsule are the three parts. Okay, we will study in higher classes. This generally it is a moss plant, okay, called funaria. You can collect the mosses from the greenish velvety growth on the bricks during the rainy season. Okay, you can collect mosses from the greenish velvety growth on bricks during the rainy season. Okay, scrape a bit of this greenish growth over a slide and observe with a hand lens or under a microscope. Okay, then you will find like this, you will see like this. You may find the structures beside like this. So these are not exactly the flowers, but the structures that contain seed like structures called spores. Okay, so there are no flowers, no seeds, but their reproductive units, reproductive structures are spores. Next, the spores contain very little food, while the seed stores a lot of food. The difference between a spore and a seed. Okay. So moreover, where the seeds are produced from ovule of flower. Okay, if you take the difference between the seed and spore, the seeds are produced from the flowers, that is from the ovule. After fertilization, the ovule of the flower is converted into seeds, whereas the spores are produced within the structures called as sporangium. Okay, it is the sporangium, the structure from which the spores are formed in a different manner. If you get a fern plant to observe, try to see the brownish or blackish spots or dot like structures. So these are the spore bearing bodies called sporangium. So you can see here the sporophylls of the ferns and the cycas. This is another plant. So these spores are present in the moss plants as well as in the ferns. The plants like moss and fern which do not produce the flowers and have sporangium as the reproductive structures are called non-flowering plants. It is very important. Non-flowering plants, they are also called cryptogams. The flowering plants are called phanerogams. The non-flowering plants are called cryptogams. So those that produce flowers are called phanerogams, like pine, cycas, neem, mango. These are all the examples of the flowering plants. So here cycas, it is a flowering plant, but it is a gymnosperm. So there is no fruit, only the seeds are produced. Okay. Next, more details we are going to study in the next class. I hope you understood. Read textbook, children. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.